Nothing New Under the Sun. My name is Darius.
I am George.
And we're back in black. Well, not really gray and blue, but we're back. I know we had a little
Yes,
bit of
we are.
time, but guess what? You know, that's life.
New place, new mic. Feeling a little bit more legit.
Yeah, he's a little bit better set up. The background is still horrible, but his equipment's better now, so maybe you can hear his beautiful, sexy chocolate voice.
There we go.
That he is technically part Egyptian, so that means he's North African. Say what, Sean King? Way more African than you.
Oh, dude. I don't know how it's still. All right. Let's go into that. This whole entire. Because a lot's been happening since. I think the Kyle Rittenhouse thing kind of happened. The indictment of the Breonna Taylor officers is happening. And just a lot's been happening in that whole entire sector. But meanwhile, I'm not sure how many billions of dollars they've had over damages from the past, 2 months?
It's been a lot. I've heard that it's been a couple $1 billion in just the insurance claims. And then the cities themselves have been asking for about a $500 million each city. So if you put it all together, you're looking at probably $5 billion in all in damages.
Man, yeah, I don't know. I definitely. All right, I'm gonna go out. I do feel like the provocateurs, aka the Antifa people, have a lot to do with it. What would you say about that? As far as the damages and the chaos,
Well,
or do you think it's just a mixture of people?
I think it's a mixture of people. I would say there are, like they say, there's 93% of the people are peaceful protesters and 7% are not peaceful, right? Well, 7% caused billions of dollars. That's every percent is about almost $1 billion. That's a lot of money. So, obviously, it's the broken glass theory where, yeah, you might be in a peaceful mob, right? But then the mob mentality takes over once everyone kind of sees things breaking, people starting stuff. So you do have provocateurs. I say people from Antifa, people that are being paid, George Soros pocketed, people that obviously will taint it. Even the actual heads of BLM are not trustworthy. I say most people, obviously most people that are chanting or out there protesting for BLM aren't bad people, but there are, like the news wants to say, 7%. If 93% are good, that 7% is swaying the crowd, and even 1% can change anything. It just takes a few people. You have the U-Haul truck handing out signs, getting things ready for the Breonna Taylor indictment. Before anybody even knew what was going to happen, they were already getting ready. So that is a little suspicious. What if all of them were getting the death penalty? Are you all going to riot, or what? What's going to happen? There is, no matter, obviously the provocateurs knew that there wasn't going to be that. There's going to be a slap on the wrist. But it could have not been. It could have been. They could have been indicted with more serious charges. But it really depends. If you ask the average person out chanting BLM, they're not a bad people. But then again, there are a lot of shitty people. The same as with cops, right? They say, okay, so they say 1% of cops to 7% of cops are bad, right? I'm just giving that number out.
Yeah.
Well, 1 to 7% of the protests are bad. So it's,
Evens out.
maybe just 1 to 7% of people suck. Have you ever thought about that?
At this point, why not? Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. But I do think seeing this Louisville kind of erupt where officers started getting shot at, I think this is just like a very preliminary or pre-war or pre-riot to what may happen in Minneapolis. That's like as far as like because do think at least two of the cops are going to get off.
Well,
You know,
yeah. Um, I've been kind of looking into that, and um, they might
it's
just they're what they're trying to say is there is footage that um, he was swallowing fentanyl, George
yeah,
Floyd, and that he actually was ODing the whole time, and that's why he said he couldn't breathe when he was in the back of the vehicle before they even pulled him out. So, again, I wasn't there. Um, you all know my stance. He was in a bad position. There, you know, even if he wasn't ODing on fentanyl or not, he could, very fucking aggressive position. It's not. I've been in jiu-jitsu, I've been in wrestling, I've been in football. When some people's weight is on you like that, it's not fun. But also, he's 6'7". He's not
he
small.
could, yeah, he's not small.
Um, the that reminds me. I remember it actually hasn't made federal news yet, but or sorry, international or national news. The cops in Dallas are under investigation and having to go through sensitivity because a couple posted um, a picture on a BLM resistance Facebook page of some of a black guy in a coffin, and it says the face you make, and obviously that stirred up a lot of emotions. A lot of people were pissed, and now they're under investigation because it was a couple, and it had a joint Facebook, so they don't even know who did it, who posted it, um, and obviously it was trolling. The page itself was called Resistance, and they're
Uh-huh.
trying to poke fun that if you resist, you're gonna die. Um, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's what they're
Yeah.
doing. They're poking fun at it.
Uh-huh.
But going back to your point about the pre-civil issues with the cops or the election or the cops getting out for George Floyd, they're not gonna. Maybe one officer they'll have to like slap something on probation, maybe like a year, but a couple, maybe 5 years, but then he's gonna get off with probation after a few months. That's what's gonna happen. If we're being honest, like that's gonna happen.
That's why it's gonna go to shit, bro. Like we thought. This is like that where that Joey Diaz was like he was basically saying that just watch. There's gonna be people, the black guy or the like whatever. I think you said just like the black community is gonna be on rooftops sniping cops in one of the cities soon if this shit continues.
Well,
He said that like Joe Rogan.
so what's happening is, yeah, he got people complain because he said that you're gonna get an ex-military disgruntled guy with PTSD that just can't take this anymore, that takes it personal, which, a lot of people in the black community, they take things personal. They will never meet these people. That's the big difference between the white community, black community. White people have they don't give a fuck about other white people. There's no like, what is it called? Like white camaraderie. Like, oh, just because someone's white, they're my brother. No, white people are like, we don't
Yeah,
fuck them. Um,
yeah.
and so, the black community feels that a lot more camaraderie. So they definitely there will be someone, and then kids with clout. I saw this kid shooting at the cops, filming it and shooting during Kentucky, and you know this is the scary part. There has been, and I saw an article recently about the rise in extreme right wing and extreme well, they didn't say extreme, but extreme right wing and like a black power movement, both arming themselves. Like we've already talked about the NCPA and NFAC. Um, but this is the thing. There's a lot more crazy white people with guns than anybody else in America. That's why even the FBI, NSA say the most dangerous group of domestic terrorism would be white people. And so I would heed people to start a race war, because one side's way more armed than the other side, and the stuff that they have you don't know about yet, and the government doesn't know about it, and they have some secret stuff that's in a dirt hole in the back, so if, like you said, some black guys go to the roofs with guns and start shooting, it's gonna just be worse for everybody, because then you're gonna have the state government come down on you have the federal government come down on you, and then you're gonna have racists come down on you, and then you're just gonna have patriotic whites come down on you. So if you do that, you're gonna have 4 groups that are armed much more than you retaliate. And most of those patriot whites, they don't want to go around killing people. There's a difference between the crazy redneck and the patriot white, right? And people don't really. Sometimes people mix those two, but there's a big difference. Like, obviously, the patriot white doesn't want to come in and start killing everyone, but if you start shooting at them, some will shoot back, but they're more hesitant, But then you get that.
In Austin. That was in Austin.
Which
why they'll shoot back?
Yeah, the dude in the car, right, trying to get pulled out of the car. Yeah.
That was just like, proof.
Yeah, it's like
that situation.
Someone in LA recently, the other night, was driving through the protest and got pulled out of his Prius. Almost, and they were trying to beat his ass, and they were fucking up his Prius. Then he got arrested by the police. That's LA. That guy, I don't even know if it was a guy. It looked like a guy, but it's LA, so you don't know. He looked white, but he could have been Hispanic, could have been Asian, could have been anybody. I still don't know to this day. But he looked like he would be an ally, and he looked like he was just, I'm an ally, I believe in what you guys are doing, I'm just trying to go around, right? Like the dude said that he went barreling through. You watch the videos, he's going 5 miles per hour to the right of the protest where there's like 3 people, and then tries to go around. People shift in front of him, right? But you're gonna have more and more people getting ran over. It's the streets, people. Okay? There could just be a drunk driver at night. Sometimes people are just drunk driving home and run people over, It's not even just because of racism.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, everyone's so quick to say it's racist. People are racist doing this. Racist, And
yeah.
Let me tell you something. I saw a video of a guy that was being chased by Antifa, and they start bashing his car, and his dog's in the back barking and stuff. If you surround my car and follow me to my car, not even like I'm trying to drive through, but you follow me to my car, start bashing it in, you're all gonna get dropped. Sorry, because now you're endangering my life. A mob is a weapon. Skateboards are weapons. Bats are weapons. You followed me to my car, you're gonna get dropped. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You gotta learn lessons. The sick part is most of these are fucking kids. Most of these are people between the ages of 16 and 24, so the highest suicide rate ages, right? The most unstable people, highly emotional people. They're being told that they're gonna die every day. They're not allowed to, they have angst. They have things that are pent up, between sexual, physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, pent rage, pent up emotions. It's just so much that there's pent up. They don't have release. People need release, especially young people. You need a hormonal, emotional, physical release. So you need to have sex, you need to go out, you need to have fun, you need to do things. And they can't. They can't interact, they can't be social. So the only social event they can do is riot or protest. And that's their new EDC. That's their new Coachella. That's why they're having the the Tootsie Roll shuffle and all that shit. Like, to the left, to the. There are so many videos of them just getting out and start dancing while they're protesting. Like, that's obviously that's a reason. That's because there's pent up issues, right? Like, you're not. That's not a protest, right? Like, a protest is like, hey, we're trying to get our point across. And then if everyone just starts dancing in the street, that's a street rave, I guess. Not to. Let's be honest with ourselves. And that also helps delegitimize what you're doing, because now you look like a buffoon.
Yeah, and I also kind of feel like it's propagandized as the cool thing to do right now.
Well, it's the only thing to do, so of course it's the
like,
cool thing to do.
But like, you see all these, like, I don't know, you do see a lot of propaganda towards like, hey, go out and protest type of thing.
Oh yeah. People are being told that there's a genocide of black people right now, and there is in Libya, and there's a genocide of Arab people in Libya. I mean, not Libya. In Yemen. There are people being chopped up with machetes, people being shot, hung, bombed, starving, but not here. I heard something the other day on Joe Rogan's podcast with Duncan Trussell that kind of bothered me. He says, if you want people dying in the street, vote for Trump. And if you don't want people dying in the street, vote for Biden. But then I'm like, you're in LA. There's more homeless people ODing right now than being killed by the police. Opioid addiction and heroin is killing people every day.
Crystal meth.
I'll put these up. I'll get the new CDC numbers, but I've been trying to push to everyone the CDC numbers, and not even just the 6% without comorbidity, because I won't even give them that. Okay, I won't even make it that easy. But the deaths with or without COVID, and it's scary because I'll have to look at the new numbers, but on September 6th they released numbers, right? 1,600 people died between the ages of 14 and 34. The ages of 14 and 34 is one of the largest groups of people alive. More people have committed suicide than died of COVID between that age. More people have died of ungodly more things than that during that age.
I mean, there's alcohol poisoning also towards this too.
10 times the amount of people are dying of other things than COVID. And that's COVID with premorbidities, right? So, again, I'm not trying to get on some COVID rant, but I want people to understand this is scary how much they're pushing COVID, because they're pushing fear, right? They want you unhealthy. People are unhealthy right now, right? Gyms are closed. Fast food is up. America, just burst your bubble. We are number one in deaths of cancer. We are the number one obese country in the world. We are the number one people dying of heart disease, lower respiratory disease, and accidents. So, we are one of the highest countries with I'm pretty sure we're like the number one country with diabetes. All those are comorbidities that would kill you if you have COVID. So instead of the news being honest and saying, look, you're all unhealthy, America's unhealthy, we're killing ourselves between Monsanto's and McDonald's.
Yeah, you're poisoning yourself every day with shit you put in your mouth. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man.
More people die of cigarettes or link deaths to cigarettes than COVID will ever kill. Ever.
I'm taking vitamin D and a daily vitamin every day. I think that's helping at this point. Granted, now I'm in a state that's free. I can go to the gym now. It feels a little different already for me. But California and these other, California is literally the slowest state to open up at this point, and it's
on purpose.
It's on purpose, dude.
It's all about control. It's did you clean up the homeless during this time? No.
Made it worse.
So I want to get into something because I want to kind of make this compare and contrast, right? So let's get off COVID because COVID, I can tell you a million numbers and you're still going to be afraid because it's a part of the plan. Because people want to get freaked out when it's not a part of the plan. I can tell you tomorrow that a truck full of army people are going to die. Everyone's going to freak out. So I want to get over to Trump's taxes, right? And these are alleged. So Trump allegedly, someone was able to leak his taxes, 15 years worth of taxes. Sorry. And I'm on that Texas time. It's late. Started waking up more early for school as well. So they allegedly, okay, because we have to say allegedly because this is nobody actually has like an actual copy of his taxes. You know, it's always funny that someone posts about his taxes without like an actual picture of it or copy of it or actual like, you know, hard evidence. But it's allegedly.
It's killing it on Twitter right now too.
Oh, everyone's posting about it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because actually, real quick, the right, a lot of people are like, fuck yeah, fuck taxes. We hate taxes, and if he can legally get around paying taxes, then he should rewrite our taxes because he's getting through it, right? Like, that's one side.
That'd be pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, and then the other side's like, waitresses pay more. You know, and immigrants pay more. Yeah, guess what? Billionaires don't pay shit. That's a fun fact. And guess what? There's billionaires that are leftists as well that don't pay shit. Wonder how that happens, right? It's called a good tax lawyer. I'd recommend one.
Yeah.
You know, I had a tax lawyer. Technically, you had the same tax lawyer when we were serving in California because guess what? There's things called loopholes. And guess what? When a this is the thing that people don't understand. They can't get Trump for how he filed his taxes. Do you know why? He didn't do anything. His lawyers did. His lawyers signed, filed, and submitted his taxes. That's why I went to a tax lawyer. Because guess what? If they audited me, they're not going to be mad at me. They're going to be mad at the tax lawyer that filed it, signed it, and put his name on it. That's why I went, because I didn't want to do that myself. Because I owed money, and I needed to get money back. You know, if you're a single mother in Arizona, you get $15,000 back. So, just saying. So that's why they flock there. Single moms. Shout out to you in Arizona. Not all of you. You know who. If you're still listening, you know who. So, going back, sorry, I'm trying to be more serious nowadays, you know, surreal, super surreal. Yeah, so, it's funny though, so apparently, 10 out of the 15 years, which is funny, because they did say how much he paid in taxes, in those federal income taxes, by the way, for 5 of those years, right, so 10 of 15 years, up until 2016, he paid 0. Because he was at a loss. He was losing money. That's what the article said. And then they don't say how much he paid in the other 5 years. So it could have been a lot, could have been barely anything. But then they said as a president, he only paid $750 in taxes. Now, my only thing I can say is he's given away 100% of his earnings as president. So maybe that's why I'm saying not the other years where he was losing money. I'm saying now as a president when they got to 2016, 2017. Another thing is he handed over management. They forced him to relinquish his managerial position at Trump Towers, Trump Real Estate, Trump Steaks, all that jazz. He no longer runs any of that. So obviously he owns shares and owns, you know, he owns the company still, but he
owns property.
Yeah, but obviously he owns property. But I'm saying,
like that helps also.
Yeah, so but I'm saying like this is federal income taxes we're talking about, right? Nothing else. Not gains
Uh,
taxes, not property taxes. This is federal income taxes. That's what it says in the article. People don't read the article. That is what it said. So, getting back to it again, I don't care how much taxation is theft. George, do you have your hat on you? Because it is. Income tax is theft.
especially the federal one.
Yeah, and it's like some states don't even have income taxes. So, just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then some states like California, if you make $250,000, they're trying to make it so you give up 54% of your tax or your gross income. So, ooh, no.
That's why a lot of people are leaving, man.
Oh yeah,
Going to Austin.
Austin baby. So what I'm just trying to get at is, look, I don't know if this is true. I haven't seen the hard evidence. I'm waiting for the hard evidence. Apparently, some people are saying that this does exonerate him from people saying that he got money from Russia, which Hunter Biden did, by the way. Hunter Biden got money from Russia.
Big smoke and mirror, I feel.
I keep going back to this. Look, there ain't no saints on the right or the left. There's no such thing. Most precinct saints, motherfucker. Precinct kids. So don't think your hero should be a politician, because if your hero's a politician, you're gonna be a scumbag child. It's gonna be a scumbag adult, because guess what? Politicians are scumbags. But Hunter Biden has made more money. Look, let me tell you something. Hunter Biden's in bed with everyone. Okay, Hunter Biden's in bed with Ukraine, Russia, China, his brother's ex-wife, deceased brother's ex-wife, a hooker, a prostitute, a stripper. I don't. At this point, he's probably slept with Hillary Clinton. You know what I'm saying? So he's getting money all over the place. I'll put up some pictures and stuff in post. So what the left tries to do is they do something bad, they blame the right for it, and they try to say, hey, don't look at here, look over there, because they're doing it. But obviously, I'm not saying the right's not doing it, because they're probably doing it as well. Both sides are doing it. But as more comes out, right? So shift away. George, actually, do you have any comments on Trump's taxes before we move on to the FBI?
I think you should tell the secret of to the people, so we can get as cheap federal. If we can just, like, I don't know. I still think I don't know. I'm hoping he goes to war with the Fed. We'll see.
Well,
I don't know.
Didn't he get rid of temporarily and say he's going to get rid of it completely, the federal income tax, payroll tax?
That's what that's what I heard, but we'll see. Like, I don't know.
I know it's temporarily taken away. It's but he said if he wins, he's going to just remove it, and that's why people are like, "Oh, you're stealing my Social Security." Did you know, in 1985, they started taxing the Social Security, and the taxes have gone up and up and up and up, and so the boomers took all the money. And then after the boomers, the generations got smaller until millennials, right? And they started taxing it. So the people, the smallest amount of, actual populace paid into it at the highest taxes, and then diminished it because it was being taxed. And so the boomers took it. And so we've been at a negative this entire time. And they've been saying, these experts have been saying that my generation ain't getting Social Security. So guess what I'm going to tell you? I don't give a fuck, and I don't want to pay into it. If I ain't going to get it, I don't want to pay for yours, motherfucker. Half these motherfuckers that are getting Social Security have houses already paid for. So guess what? I don't got a house. And I'm not going to get Social Security. So I'm paying for your Social Security, and it's being taxed by the government, and the government takes money from Social Security. And that's another thing. The government dips into Social Security all the time to pay its debt. So it's just technically an extra tax revenue. That's all Social Security is, and only a small, tiny group of people get to get it. And by the time we're supposed to get it, it ain't gonna be there. So when Trump says he's gonna get rid of payroll taxes, and people are like, "What about Social Security?" I'm like, "Fucking cut it! I'm gonna die of cancer by 65 anyways, because guess what? We all are. And if we ain't dying of cancer, we're gonna be fucking glassed by China or slaves by China. So I don't know what the problem is, Like, I'm not trying to be a pessimist, but fuck, man, the world's moving to a very scary place.
I mean, TikTok's still owned by the Chinese, so
Oracle's trying to buy it.
They've been saying that, Darius. They've been. This is like
what happened.
Then it was Microsoft came in.
No.
And they said,
it was.
Then they kept extending it.
It was Microsoft first, then Oracle. Oracle wanted to buy 15% of it and have other company that's Chinese buy the rest of it but they would run it. It's all bullshit, dude. Apparently, they're supposed to take it off the App Store. You can't, you could still have it if you already have it. You just can't re-download it or whatever. I don't know.
Good.
I don't give a fuck about TikTok. Everyone's still
I really don't mean to sound like a hater. All right, but it's just like
I hate you.
I don't think
I hate everything about you. I don't even know you, and I hate you. The hater.
I think society should take a step back on social media.
It's causing a depression that nobody's seen before because it causes it's super high. See, human bodies are very funny, right? When it comes to our hormones and endorphins and just chemical releases, if you get too much of something, your body dips, right? If you don't have enough, your body spikes. So if you take steroids and testosterone, you're gonna grow tits and have high estrogen, so you have to get estrogen blockers, right? It's the same thing with getting likes. All these girls, more ass they show, more likes they get, more endorphins they get, more excited they get, more rushes they get. But guess what? That means higher you go, the pendulum swings. Pendulum always swings. There is a reaction to every action. We are a dual bi symbiotic universe. There is always a yin and a yang. There's always a left and a right. There's always a swing and a sway. So, obviously, we are at this point where, let's be real, about 90% of all Americans don't really have it hard. Even if you're poor, it's a lot better to be poor here than live in some countries. Let's be honest. You still have, if you have a cell phone, imagine... Okay, as long as you're not homeless, you're still a better life than someone from Yemen. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm saying if you're homeless and you're dying, and you're tweaking, and you're dying on the streets, that's hard. That's rough. But if you're not, most of the world, there's a lot of the world that has it worse than you. Trying to be a Uyghur in China right now, you'd be in a concentration camp. Or dead, or in a re-education camp, or making LeBron James jerseys. So, it's not that bad, guys. No matter how much it tells you. And then you have another thing on the other side. So you have one side, your endorphins are going super high. And the other side, you're being told by the news that every single thing is horrible. You're gonna die. Your black friends are being murdered on the street. And you're gonna die of COVID. So that's what they hear every day. So obviously you're having mental issues. You have swing and sway of just these emotions and endorphins and chemical releases and hormones going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Boom, 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 boom. And that's what everyone's going through. And so, it all is perspective, Yes, you may not have it harder than, say, a kid in Yemen, but mentally, you are probably doing worse than a lot of kids in these third world countries because of the mental gymnastics you're putting yourself through. But let's move on to something else I want to talk about. The FBI and what's going on with the whole Comey, McCabe, the Durham report and all that jazz. There's a lot of crazy stuff that's coming forward. And there's also a movie on Showtime coming out. Have you seen this?
What the one with Trump and Comey?
Yeah, the
It's
Comey.
called Comey or something like that. Yeah.
It's propaganda. It is, and it's coming out right before elections on purpose.
Uh-huh.
They rushed this to get it out,
Oh, dude.
and
Yeah.
I need like. Are you with me?
Like, I feel like this is what Nazi propaganda might look like.
Well, people are falling into it. People are like, "Oh my God, this has to be so true. Like, this isn't an exaggeration. This is real." Okay. So this is what's going on. You have this movie coming out that is actually funny because everything this movie's about is actually being turned upside down in court right now. The FBI is in trouble. They fucked up. And how fucked is fucked up? It's fucked up. The FBI destroyed 31 phones. The FBI tampered with intel. Let me tell you something. The truther community knew all this. We've been talking about this for years. And everyone said we were crazy. And conspiracy theorists.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we're not. Maybe you're all crazy. All of you fucking people. Maybe not the people listening to this, but most of you people out there are crazy. Most of you people are living easy with eyes closed, misunderstanding all you see. Okay, the best quote from Strawberry Fields Forever by the Beatles. Because it's true, all of you are so blind, and you're blind. And you think that watching the news makes you open your eyes, makes you woke. Blindly following in a cultish way a movement of Marxists just because the name of the movement is something good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been saying, the Lincoln Party or the Lincoln Project, that sounds good, right? They're a piece of shit people. Like I've been saying, the People's Republic of China, not one of those things is true about China. Not one. Not one. But it's in the name. Same thing with Black Lives Matter. Black people matter. No one's saying they don't. But Black Lives Matter as an organization is not a good organization. They hide behind a name that you can't talk shit about. You know.
You have to raise your fists to prove it.
No, George. It's this
yeah.
one, sorry. I can't even do that. Like,
Yeah. I mean, like all that, like, oh, say Black Lives Matter, we'll let you go. We gotta know you're cool, bro.
look, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't go out much. This will never happen here. But if I'm out eating a dinner, spending money, trying to help these waiters that are like you're saying, they're risking their lives, right? Because they're at work, they're risking their lives, making barely any money. A company that's trying to stay open and jump through hoops with regulations and buying all this new sanitation and bullshit. And I'm trying to help these people out by eating at the restaurant and tipping their servers well. And you're fucking with my food and spitting in my face. And you put your hand on my table, steak knife into your fucking hand, right here, between the two bones. And then I'm gonna push you, and it's gonna split your hand right in half. And you're probably gonna think twice and never do that again. So get the fuck out of my face. Okay?
What triggered this?
What? No, sorry. I'm just it's just some fantasy or something. I'm just kidding. Maybe. Am I kidding? Maybe someone should find out. So don't spit in my face. Don't get in my face. Which, again, George, when we were in LA, nobody said anything while we're eating on the patio. They tried to get us to vote. Okay? You know why? Because we're 6 foot tall, 250 pound, muscular men. People don't do that. What they do is they prey on the weaker. They prey on 150 pound guys or fat women. That's what they do. They prey on the weak, not the strong. And all I gotta say is, again, if you spit in my face, because again, spitting in someone's face is assault. And again, you're telling me you're afraid of COVID, but you're spitting in my face. That's gonna happen. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't got a crystal ball. Okay, I don't got a crystal ball. I got a moon. Whoop. And I got my singing bowl. No crystal ball. But sorry. I do have my buddy Jesus as well. So no crystal ball though. So I can't tell you if that's gonna happen. I'm just saying if you want to try it, let me know. Going back to the FBI though, which I think, look guys, I'm not suicidal in any way. I love my life, no matter how hard it gets. I've already died once, so don't want to go back there again for a while. So yeah, man, like, I'm not suicidal. Just throwing that out there. George, I don't know if you are or not.
No, I'm good.
All right, you're good on your life, okay? I would say the same thing because we're about to go into the deep state right now. Again, there was a third person on our Skype call today, with Dad in it. I still don't understand. This is the third time this has happened. Every time George tries to call me, there's weird clicks. Doesn't go through all the time. We always have issues. It's just, there's a lot of weird things going on right now.
There's no doubt people are reporting this.
So yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of dark.
I have to talk about the deep state. Because guess what? That's how they get away with it. They bully you. They scare you. And they do things in the shadows. And I am very happy what is happening. Because again, honestly, I really don't care that they were following Trump because they thought he was a Russian spy. I really don't care that Hillary Clinton paid for a fake dossier. I really don't care the DNC paid for the Steele dossier. I really don't care that the FBI knew that they shouldn't keep going after Flynn, but they did. I really don't care that this new, Star series about Comey's all propaganda. I really don't care about any of that. But what is good is that it's all coming forward. What is good is that these elites that have done whatever they wanted for so long are finally being brought to light. That's what matters. That's important to me. Because guess what? Nobody is above the law. Human rights law, not even just our Constitution. Nobody's above anything. No, we don't have kings or gods or demigods. We're all human. We're all flesh and blood. Maybe some people are reptilians. I don't know. Maybe some people can transfer their consciousness. I don't know. But there is a power structure. And these people think they're better than you. Don Lemon thinks he's better than you. On camera, he hates white people. In bed, he has one in him. Anderson Cooper comes from evil elites. Operation Mockingbird, people. So, it has been a coordinated effort. And, look, I'm not saying Trump's a saint. I'm not saying he's a good guy. But obviously, they're afraid of him. Or he's a part of the game. And he's trying to fuck us all over. I don't know. But, what I do know, I do like to see that the FBI is being called to the light. I do like to see the head of CIA getting subpoenaed, John Brennan. I like that. That's important to me. That's awesome.
That'd be pretty cool, man. Like, let's make it, I want to see it happen. Like, I don't know, how far it's gonna, go, with this shit.
Well,
that's
look,
why
they subpoenaed Hillary Clinton.
Yes, they subpoenaed them, but...
No, they subpoenaed Hillary Clinton, but she got out of it. 3 judges were afraid of their life. 3 judges that were apparently appointed by Clinton or had connections to Bill allowed her to not have to go.
Are you fucking kidding? That was it?
That's what I read. And they essentially said that nobody cares about those emails. Nobody cares about Benghazi. It was a long time ago, and none of that is prevalent. Well, guess what, bitch? Apparently we still care about 9/11. I care about it because we were lied to. I care about it because $3 trillion went missing the day before. I care about it because the Pentagon just was attacked and vaporized a plane. I would have believed it more if they said that the Pentagon has laser beams and we're firing laser beams and only a little bit got through and blew up, but these laser beams incinerated. I would be like, okay, I'll believe that one more. than a plane what it did. You know what I'm saying? Like, please, come on.
No, it's all been
Building
no,
7,
super fucking sketchy. Yeah, Building 6,
Epstein's, you know, painting of fucking George
George
W.
Bush with the with the paper airplanes and the wood blocks, dude.
Look, I want
I don't
everyone
know,
held
man.
accountable. I want Trump held accountable if he did what he did. I want Hunter Biden. I want fucking Joe Biden. I want them all.
Yeah,
Okay? I have no sympathy for power. I have no sympathy for these people that are elites and better than think they're better than you and they're worth more than you.
do you think we paid more than $750 on taxes?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Federal income. I pay a lot. Yeah, enough. But look, man. We need to hold our government accountable. Okay, everyone's so mad about Trump not paying taxes, but Nancy Pelosi is worth over $150 million. How many people has she employed? And the thing about that is, I'm not talking about staffers too, because we paid for those staffers, not her. It would take over, I think, around like 647 years as Speaker of the House to make $150 million. They make $223,000 a year. She hasn't been Speaker of the House all her fucking time in Congress. So, how did she make that? I know she looks 647 years old, but she's not.
think she got a lot of sacrificial magic from those people that they tortured and possibly killed in Guantanamo Bay because she was in the meetings as far as approving those torture techniques.
Oh yeah, she got
So
in military industrial contract money.
money.
That's how she made her money. Everybody, look into it. That's literally how she made her money. She was part of the Big Eight, or whatever, the Super Eight. That's
It's all about putting those central banks in, dog.
yeah. So this is all a facade, because if you look at her policies and you look at the things that her and all her fucking cronies have done, it's the same thing that the right has done. The right and left do the same shit, and they make money off the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
They all love war, and they all love killing your brothers and sisters, parents, uncles, grandchildren, grandparents, children, all of that. They love that. It's the best way to make money. But
Mm-hmm.
so guess what? Look, guys. Again, I'm not saying trust Trump, and I'm not saying Trump is a fucking not a sleazy guy. On here, I've said the same thing as Sam Tripoli. He's a crime boss. He doesn't like paying money to the government, which, find me somebody who's like, oh my god, I love paying money to the government, and I'll find you a fucking idiot. Okay? Like, I've never met anyone be like, look at my check, I'm happy I'm fucking giving my money away. Okay? Because nobody does. Everything you do, you get taxed. Everything you do, the government's like, we got some social programs and some brown children we gotta kill, and that ain't cheap.
License plate.
Anything and everything is fucking money. Okay? Nothing's free in this goddamn country. And guess what? If you all want my opinion, and you're gonna take anything I say from today, if Biden Harris wins, and they're going to go through their social promises from Bernie Sanders, I want everyone to go to college and quit their jobs. Nah, literally do that. It will not be worth having a job. Go to college for the rest of your life. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a motherfucking PhD one day. It might take me 20 years. This is a house of learning doctors. Because it's not gonna. But I don't think they're gonna follow through Bernie Sanders social deals. They're not. I'm putting money on it. They're not. They're just using it for now because they've been kind of hush-hush about a lot of those things that Bernie Sanders said he was going to do. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't think Biden's going to win. I think that there's going to be a lot of issues.
We will see Tuesday.
Yeah, I already know what's going to happen. They're going to waffle question. It's all going to be about what Trump did wrong. And nothing, and what would Biden do? And all Biden would have to do is, I wouldn't do what Trump did. I would have closed our country down 2 weeks earlier and saved 30,000 more lives. Oh, really? You would have done that? Hillary would have put us in FEMA camps, maybe. But, yeah, I thought it was, I'm going to be real. Trump's funny as shit. You can hate him. But he was like, we need to drug test him before, during, and after. He's like, I'll fucking take the same drug test. Y'all see I'm on speed.
No. Me and Rod were talking about that today. He was like, dude, it's going to be, like, really bad. I'm like, yeah, for him. Like, this is going to be terrible for you guys. Like, this is, like...
What if Biden just fucking croaks right there? Just like, I can't take this.
They're going to steroid him up, huh?
Well, again, in the the more deep truther community, the more conspiracy side, I saw some people zoom in of his hands, and he's had transfusions recently. You can tell because he's been bruising up here, and then he's had some flesh-colored earpieces in one of his ears.
Yeah,
he's so fucked.
I don't know that.
Motherfucker said he's in there for 100. Okay, not only did he say that he's in there for 180 years. He also said he was a vice president for 10 years. And a lot of people are arguing, he said his tenure. But he said for 10 years. And again, you can argue he meant his tenure as vice president. But he literally said he was in fucking the Senate for 180 years.
I'm not sure if he was trying to be funny.
That's not trying to be funny. He was 100% being serious. Did you see him laugh? Because, let me tell you something, I've been studying Joe Biden. Whenever he fucks up and he knows he fucked up, and they say something in his ear, he goes, come on, man. Or goes, he says something whenever he fucks up, and he goes, but or come on, man. And I feel like they're telling him, no, you're not saying it right, Joe. And he's like, come on, telling them, oh, come on, man. Yeah, I really think that's what
that sounds like it's a good theory, Darius. I'm not saying it's not. Yeah. Not saying it isn't.
He's not a joker.
But
are you telling me he was joking when he said that he doesn't want his goddamn kids going to school with fucking monkeys and shit?
No, Darius. I'm talking about Darius. No. Okay.
His words, not mine.
I'm talking about Biden as far as him taking off the last 2 days of his campaign. Do you think there's I guarantee you they're doing something with him.
They're getting a clone. They're putting him in a hyperbolic chamber. They're putting him into the whatever capsule chamber from Dragon Ball Z, or fucking Star Wars, a Baka tank. So
you think they'll still build the Clover card?
What they're doing is he already is given all the questions, 100%, and he's practicing every day what to say. And they're telling him these are the only ways Trump can respond. And then they're gonna say these are the ways you're gonna respond if he says this. That's what they're doing. Okay. Trump is on the campaign trail. He did 3 rallies in 28 hours or something stupid. Motherfucker is railing coke. Just out of your system quick. That's why he's like, I'll take a drug test. Maybe he's on shrooms. Hey, you know what? Maybe Trump's on shrooms. No one's actually said that. Or lion's mane and psilocybin extract. You know why? It gives you energy, it gives you focus, or at least microdosing. I think he's microdosing, bro. That's why he's like, oh, drug test me, because I think it's out of your system quick.
He seems like he really loves being president. He hasn't, it's I don't give it. He doesn't look like he's
Look,
aged. Like,
I know he's the only president to not age. I'll tell you this much: he is egotistical. All rich people and businessmen love themselves. They think they're the shit, and they love to hear themselves. They love cheering. They get power from it, and they love the naysayers. I love when someone tells me I can't do something because I'll fucking try to prove them wrong. Again, not weird shit, like, I mean in general, like, oh, you can't get that job, or you can't get that position, or you won't be able to finish this class, whatever. I like to prove them wrong. You won't, you won't have an unsuccessful podcast. Guess what I do? It's unsuccessful as fuck. I proved you wrong. And so, he is like that. And I'm gonna be real. That could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I don't personally like a lot of people in my personal life that are like that, but I don't know him personally. But he loves what he does, and he loves that people hate him, and he loves that people like him.
Yeah, I see. That's where it gets like a lot of people effed up because some people like that are like that are just occasionally people with a mental illness. Also. Like,
Everyone has a mental illness, George.
No, not like, I mean, egotistical type of person. Like.
How's it a mental illness?
I don't want to say names.
Look, let me tell you something. If you don't think President Obama thinks his shit don't stink, if you don't think Hillary Clinton thinks her shit don't stink, you don't think Kamala Harris thinks her shit don't stink, if you don't think Tom Hanks, Oprah is saying that fucking homeless white people have more privilege than rich black people. Okay?
Yeah, no, like, that's just to stir up some shit.
Let me tell you something. Anybody with power, money, motherfuckers will stab you over $5, George, or calling you a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, go right now on Grindface TV and look up how people get guns to their face and killed just because, or jumped because they say the east side of their city.
Where is this at?
Grindface, grindface.tv on IG or Twitter. Twitter's the crazier one. They'll show the crazy shit. People are getting their heads blown off, getting jumped, just because they said they're from a different street in a city. So tell me again how...
They say what city?
Just look it up.
Is it Chicago? It's
all over, dude. I've seen fucking LA, Chicago, Compton. Go on there and look it up, and people are being murdered every fucking second or being jumped every second in America. Everybody has a mental health issue. Okay?
Which one could
and let me tell you something. When beta people say that an alpha is mentally challenged because they're an alpha, that's a problem. And that's jealousy more than anything. Because they feel inferior. And because they feel inferior, being someone who and again, I don't think everyone should feel like they're better than anybody. I don't like that either. We can go to sports. I had a conversation. My sister and my nephew had his first tournament in jiu-jitsu recently. And my sister had her first tournament in like 2 years. And, we're talking about like the different type of athletes, right? There's like a guy versus a girl. There's a guy that's going to go light on her because he feels bad. He feels that he should be the protector subconsciously, not the aggressor. Then there's beta men that want to feel stronger. So they go after the female, try to hurt them. Then there's the type of guy that just, you're another human being. You could probably be better than me, so I'm going to go at whatever until one of us win or lose. There's 3 types of people. There's girls like that where they think that they're better than every man, and so they're going to hurt guys that they're stronger or more, better, better technique. Then there's girls that, oh man, he's a man, so he's probably stronger than me. I'm afraid to do this. Or there's girls saying, this is a competition. Let's go.
Yeah.
Are any of those a mental health? Which is worse? Technically, they're all a different mental state. So it's a spectrum. So I really don't agree when someone says, oh, being a sadist or an egotistical person is mental health issues. Well, yeah, but so is being a beta. So is being depressed. So is telling yourself that you'll never be good enough. Look, I'm not saying that you should be the type of person that walks over every person to get to the top, or suck every dick or titty to get to the top. I'm not saying be that person, but I'm saying at this point in my life, 29 years old, and meeting millions of people in my life, from rich to poor, serving from rich to poor, everyone has a problem. We lie to children. And this is why millennials are having issues right now, and Generation Z is having so many issues right now mentally, because they were told everybody has their shit together as adults when nobody does. They were told that they're special, which nobody is. And they're told that they're going to change the world, which no matter what you think you're doing out there in the streets, you're not changing much. Because guess what? Nobody got indicted. $1 billion of fucking property damage, and nobody got indicted for murder. So guess what? You ain't changing shit. You're just pissing people off, causing more division, and the power it be is making money off you. Okay? So if you want to say someone like George Soros that became a Nazi, even though he was Jewish, and stole money and killed Jews and sent Jews to concentration camps and made money and took their money and became rich off of his own people, is a mental health issue. I'll tell you that one and that one. And trying to tell yourself that, fuck, man, if I didn't do it, someone else would. Yeah, that's mental health issue. But then also, if he did just give up and say, I'm a Jew, and then get shot in the head right there, that's also a mental health issue. So when someone says we're on the spectrum, I will 100% agree. There is a spectrum of mental capabilities. You know?
Mm-hmm.
There's people that love fucking they're getting jerked off by feet. There's people that fucking furries. And some of those people are rich. And some of those people are poor. But when they're in those furries, they're just furries. Some girls like to do the Great American Challenge. Some girls like to do 2 girls, 1 cup. Some guys like to get hit in the nuts with a hammer. You know? And then go to work the next day, and you ask them, why are you sitting funny? And they just said, oh, it was a hard weekend. You know? Look, man.
Jesus.
Nobody's right. Nobody's wrong. Some people are just worse. That's where I'm at in this world. All right.
Yeah.
We'll get more onto the FBI in the next episode. We just got over an hour. Got any final thoughts, George? I know I kind of took the reins on this one.
You know, and the Fed. Ron Paul's okay.
Yeah, man. Glad Ron Paul made it. You ain't gonna take me down yet? They probably hit him with the fucking stroke gun. Stroke wave gun.
I wouldn't doubt it, man. Like, at this point. Like, I don't know. I think I think Rand Paul's, like, definitely at the Fed also. His son. But, like, you know, I'm really hoping that happens in my lifetime.
Trust me, the same people... Dude, people were telling Rand Paul that say her name when he wrote the Breonna Taylor Act.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna agree with you. And the Fed. I'm gonna add on to it. Term limits. I want like Oprah to be like, check under your seat. You get a term limit. You get a term limit. You get a term limit. You know, and then maybe you can come back around at some point, or in different positions have different term limits. I'm okay with that. But again, you shouldn't be making between $150,000 to $200,000 a year and have $150 million in your bank. You should be able to get away with public trading and insider trading because you're in the government. I don't believe in that. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to go after our deep state. If you really think about it, most of the world hates us because of 2 reasons. Our military-industrial complex and compounds, and just our military-industrial might that we have reigned on as the police of the world, And they also hate us because of our intelligence agencies meddling in elections. Did someone just say that our own government meddles in other people's elections? That is true. Starts coups, assassinates people, creates guerrilla warfare and armies, funds ISIS, Al Qaeda, trains them. Weird, right? All these like really weird things that we like, kind of like, you reap what you sow, pay for father's sins. So I think it's time to hold them accountable. Because again, it doesn't take everyone to be bad. Just like the FBI, 93% of them are good people. Just like the CIA, 93% of them are good people. Just like peaceful protesters, 93% of them are good people. But that 7% is controlling the narrative. They're the ones causing billions of dollars of problems. So guess what? 7% can really change a lot, right? Because it just takes 1% to change anything. I don't know if you guys know this, but we hate the 1%. But the 1% has more money than all of us. The 1% control more than anything, and the 0.0001% control everything in the world. So think about that next time you say 7% means nothing. 7% is higher than the amount of people are dying of COVID.
Yeah.
So again,
yeah.
Numbers are weird. They're really hard to look at, and they're hard to crunch sometimes, but they don't lie. So guess what? 7% can cause a lot of damage. So let's stop the 7% of, well, problem is 7% of politicians are good. 93% are bad. That's a real big problem. So we need to get fixed. So, yeah. That's my final words. All right. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Get it up this week, and, check us out on our Instagrams, Twitters. Find us, talk to us. If anyone wants to come on the show, we'd love to have guests. Sometimes I like to hear not myself talking this whole time. But yeah, hey, guess what? If you don't believe in what I think, I want you on here. If you do believe in what I think, I want you on here. If you are a BLM activist, or NFAC, or fucking Boogaloo, or fucking Hootie Hoo, okay, I want you on here, because guess what? I want everyone on here. So till next time, thank you for being on, George. Hope you like the new place. Enjoy Arizona. Keep your eyes open, all three of them.
Bye.